Hi guys, it's Nicola, live for the first time on Facebook, waiting for you to join me in this new live show called Waiting for Tomorrow. So as you guys log on, just sit back and relax and enjoy the moment. You might be wondering why I'm wearing sunglasses at 11 p.m. at night in the heart of Europe. Well, I have heard that there is sunshine forecast for this weekend after a few days of very heavy rain. So I'm getting into the mood. All right. I'm very happy to be here with you in my new live show on Facebook. It's called Waiting for Tomorrow. It's 11 p.m. in the heart of Europe. In some places in the world, it's already tomorrow, and in other places, it's the afternoon. A little bit about my book club. The book club has been running since February of 2005. I have all the statistics here. You can't see it, but I can see it. So I've been running the book club for it's 11 and a half years, actually. This summer it's 11 and a half years. The first book club meeting took place on the 3rd of March 2005. And I've organized over 200 meetings, and we've read a total of 214 books in 3 groups. I run 3 groups. I have a summer reading group, a creative reading group, and a book club. You can find out all about them on my website, nicholasbookclub.com. So I am going to pick books from the book club, books that we've read, and I'm going to read a short extract from them here live on Facebook. And this evening, I was going to start with a really great summer reading title. It's called Sightseeing. It's a collection of short stories set in Thailand. But then my eye caught another book, and I really want to read an extract from this to you this evening. So here we go. It's a book called Ishmael, An Adventure of the Mind and Spirit, and it's by Daniel Quinn. And I call it one of my 100 best books for inspiration in the 21st century. So here goes. If you want me to keep reading, by the way, you can type in #readmore in the comment section below. So as we wait for tomorrow, sit back, relax, and enjoy the story. The first time I read the ad, I choked and cursed and spat and threw the paper to the floor. Since even this didn't seem to be quite enough, I snatched it up, marched into the kitchen, and shoved it into the trash. While I was there, I made myself a little breakfast and gave myself some time to cool down. I ate and thought about something else entirely. That's right. Then I dug the paper out of the trash and turned back to the personal section, just to see if the damn thing was still there and just the way I remembered it. It was. Teacher seeks pupil. Must have an earnest desire to save the world. Apply in person. An earnest desire to save the world? Oh, I liked that. That was rich indeed. An earnest desire to save the world? Yes, that was splendid. By noon, 200 mooncalves, soft heads, boobies, ninny hammers, noodleheads, gawkies, and assorted oafs and thickwits would doubtless be lined up at the address given, ready to turn over all their worldlies for the rare privilege of sitting at the feet of some guru, pregnant with the news that all will be well if everyone will just turn around and give his neighbor a big hug. You will wonder, why is this man so indignant, so bitter? It's a fair question. In fact, it's a question I was asking myself. The answer goes back to a time, couple of decades ago, when I'd had the silly notion that the thing I most wanted to do in the world was to find a teacher. That's right. I imagined I wanted a teacher. I needed a teacher to show me how one goes about doing something that might be called saving the world. Stupid, no? Childish, naive, simple, callow, or just fundamentally dumb? In one so manifestly normal in other respects, it needs explaining. It came about in this way. During the children's revolt of the 60s and 70s, I was just old enough to understand what these kids had in mind. They meant to turn the world upside down, and just young enough to believe that they might actually succeed. It's true. Every morning when I opened my eyes, I expected to see that the new era had begun, that the sky was a brighter blue and the grass a brighter green. I expected to hear laughter in the air and to see people dancing in the streets, and not just kids, everyone. I won't apologize for my naivety. You only have to listen to the songs to know that I wasn't alone. Then one day, when I was in my mid-teens, I woke up and realized that the new era was never going to begin. The revolt hadn't been put down. It had just dwindled away into a fashion statement. Can I have been the only person in the world who was disillusioned by this? Bewildered by this? It seemed so. Everyone else seemed to be able to pass it off with a cynical grin that said, well, what did you really expect? There's never been any more than this, and there never will be any more than this. Nobody's out to save the world because nobody gives a damn about the world. That was just a bunch of goofy kids talking. Get a job, make some money, work till you're 60, then move to Florida and die. I couldn't shrug it away like this, and in my innocence, I thought there had to be someone out there with an unknown wisdom who could dispel my disillusionment and bewilderment. A teacher. Well, of course, there wasn't. I didn't want a guru or a kung fu master or a spiritual director. I didn't want to become a sorcerer or learn the Zen of archery or meditate or align my chakras or uncover past incarnations. Arts and disciplines of that kind are fundamentally selfish. They're all designed to benefit the pupil, not the world. I was after something else entirely, but it wasn't in the Yellow Pages or anywhere else that I could discover. In Hermann Hesse's The Journey to the East, we never find out what Leo's awesome wisdom consists of. This is because Hesse couldn't tell us what he himself didn't know. He was like me. He just yearned for there to be someone in the world like Leo, someone with a secret knowledge and a wisdom beyond his own. In fact, of course, there is no secret knowledge. No one knows anything that can't be found on a shelf in the public library. But I didn't know that then. And now, years after I'd given up the search, here was some charlatan advertising in the newspaper for the very same young dreamer that I'd been 15 years ago. But this still doesn't explain my outrage, does it? Try this. You've been in love with someone for a decade, someone who barely knows you're alive. You've done everything, tried everything to make this person see that you're a valuable, estimable person and that your love is worth something. Then one day, you open up the paper and glance at the personals column, and there you see that your loved one has placed an ad, seeking someone worthwhile to love and be loved by. Oh, I know it's not exactly the same. Why should I have expected this unknown teacher to have contacted me instead of advertising for a pupil? Contrariwise, if this teacher was a charlatan, as I assumed, why would I have wanted him to contact me? Let it go. I was being irrational. It happens. It's allowed.